Chris Lynch News with Airpark Canterbury, saving you money on airport parking without compromising on quality. Book now at airparkcanterbury.co.nz.
Joe, I've got to say, being a pro-dog person with my puppy, I'm very interested in this idea of having pets on buses that you've put a motion for to the regional council on. Where did this concept or idea come from? Because it's been sort of bubbling away for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, so a member of the community came and made a deputation to our council in September that kind of daylighted the issue, to the council. I think it had been raised at previous councils, but as an elected rep, kind of did some digging on it and realised it was actually an issue, a local government issue that really did resonate with people. And what I found is fascinating about this issue is that it's people, there's two camps. Like very, very few people are in the middle. It's like they want dogs on buses or they don't want dogs on buses. So,
oh, really? It's quite polarising.
It is polarising. Everyone's got an opinion. So in the end, I decided, well, let's kickstart this. We're going for a process where we adopt a public transport plan through local government, and the drafting is going on now. So the notice of motion, the intent was to simply to say to staff, let's get the policy into the draft so then it goes out public consultation next year.
I love it. I think it's a great idea. And I also think, what do you reckon, that if we allowed doggies on buses, that would probably increase patronage too, wouldn't it? If you think about a lot of people that have dogs that, want to go places.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to make it more accessible. So you'd expect that there would be an impact on patronage. Just by virtue of widening the number of people who can use the bus. Because there are a lot of people who do walk their dogs, who would like to have the ability to transport them, who might not be car users. Obviously, the disability sector will have particular views on this. We do have passes on our metro buses for people who do have specialised dogs, for people who may have epilepsy, etc. So there is policy there already, but yeah.
I think that's a great idea. The people that you may have heard from already that are not so keen on the idea, what's their rationale behind it? Is the fact that they just, could be allergic or are worried or concerned, or what's kind of their views? I know it's only probably early days, so what's the general tenor of what they've been saying?
I think it's generally the risk. I think it's the risk of an incident of someone who can't control their animal, causing a problem on a bus, and that is a risk. Yeah. But that's why you get the regulations right, the plan right to mitigate that risk. There's always going to be a degree of risk, with anything to do with, transport. But muzzle policy is an absolute essential one. Dogs over a certain size have to be muzzled. You can only have, say, 2 dogs of a certain size under a, certain size. Cage policy for small dogs. So, it's just a way to mitigate it. And as I said in my speech yesterday, in Nottingham City, they have a situation where dogs are microchipped through their council, right? The bus driver has an app, scans the microchip, dog's all good, you're allowed on.
That's a good idea. That sounds, because I was thinking, how would you kind of monitor it and hate to use the word police it to make sure that everybody's safe. That's a good idea. I was actually going to ask you if you'd had any sort of comparisons with other cities that have different kind of rules for different dogs or pets. I mean, by the way, I was going to ask, are we just talking dogs, or could it be other animals? I'm just thinking out loud here. I don't know, rabbits or
cats.
Cats, yeah.
The policy there'll be like the overhead will be pets on buses, and then there'll be some kind of that'll be looked at, but then it will dive into dogs in particular, just because I'd say the majority of animals will be dogs.
What is any other cities in the world, apart from the likes of Nottingham, that you've looked at that have some kind of dog policy with allowing dogs or pets on buses? Doesn't New York allow small dogs or something? You see on Instagram all those cute little dogs in bags and things, or what's the deal there?
Yes, AUT, Auckland Transport, have a policy. And actually it sets out pets on buses, dogs on buses. I think they have this Nick Stoneman who came in yesterday, who's an advocate. He was saying they've had some issues around the policies not being uniformly met within Auckland. And also there has been some situations where people with disability dogs have had issues when it kind of merges into the broader public. So we really need to look at that for sure.
I think there's hope. I think we can do it. wouldn't mind putting my dog. In fact, you know what? If I was allowed to put my doggy on the bus, it'd probably encourage me to take the bus and go for a trip around Christchurch just for the sake of it. I think she might like the view. Well, I wish you well. So this is obviously in the early stages. So then once it perhaps goes into a draft report, then it may go out to public consultation. How does just briefly explain the steps for people watching who are getting excited? I don't want to get people too excited.
Sure. So the Canterbury Regional Council, we have delegated out the development of the public transport plan to the Greater Christchurch Partnership, which is made up of the City Council, the Selwyn Council, the Waimakariri Council, and other agencies. They will draft and get together the Christchurch component. So that looks at all things, all policies to do with buses. So it's a really great time for the community to get in and say, hey, we want an express bus to South Shore, etc. That will go out to the community for a hearings process. And so hopefully this policy will actually get people to engage with the plan, not just about pets on buses, but more broadly, because there's a one in every 6 to 10 year document. And there's a lot happening with public transport, as as people are aware. There's a heap of money gone into our buses in the last 6 years. MRT, the likes of mass rapid transit, all of these things, Christchurch has really decided to move in a different direction in terms of public transport. So we want to hear from you. We want to get it right, because there's no point spending literally billions of dollars if we're not doing it together.
Yeah, good point. And I think, fingers crossed, hopefully people will speak out, and if they're saying consultation, not moan at the end saying, oh, what are we doing this for? Joe, really good to speak with you. I wish you well, and fingers crossed for dogs and pets on buses. Have a great day.
Thanks, Chris.